Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're really getting into Lone Mountain, the one right here in northwest Las Vegas.
Yeah, and we're looking at it specifically from the perspective of someone maybe just starting out hiking, a beginner's view.
Exactly. We've pulled together some different sources, a bit of history, what you can do there recreationally.
And crucially, a first-hand account, someone who actually did the hike recently as a beginner.
Right. So the goal here is, to give you a really solid feel for what hiking Lone Mountain is like if you're new to this, without making it sound, overly complicated or scary.
Because you see that rocky butte, right? It's pretty prominent, and maybe you've thought, hey, could I actually hike up that?
We're trying to answer that. We've got the info you need, sort of a primer on what to expect, how to get ready.
Okay, so Lone Mountain. It really stands out in this part of the valley, doesn't it?
Totally. It's like a landmark, a real contrast to, the Strip or just the flat desert around it.
And it's become this real local spot for getting outdoors. Gives the area a bit of identity almost.
Yeah, a community feel. And it's not just something to look at. The sources really talk about the payoff for hikers.
Those views. I mean, that's a big draw. You get up there and you see the whole city spread out.
And then you turn around and boom, the Spring Mountains, Mount Charleston. It's pretty spectacular, apparently.
Definitely gives you a reason to make the climb. It's a tangible reward.
So to really get what that climb feels like for a novice, we're digging into this personal story.
The beginner hiker's account, yeah.
And they were pretty honest, mentioned being a bit nervous because sometimes you see it rated intermediate.
Which, yeah, that can sound a bit daunting if you haven't hiked much.
I think a lot of people can relate to that. So they wanted to share what they learned, which is great for us.
Absolutely. It's invaluable info. And one of the first things they focused on was gear. Practical stuff.
Yeah, not like you need the fanciest gear, but smart choices. Right?
Exactly. For comfort, for safety, like footwear.
Trail runners came up big time. Need that grip, especially with the loose gravel they mentioned.
Oh, yeah. Definitely not the place for flip-flops or, basic sneakers with no support.
God, no. And a day pack. Something comfortable, maybe around, 20 liters?
Sounds about right. Enough for essentials, but not bulky.
And the big one, especially here in Vegas, water. They said at least a couple of liters.
That's a solid baseline. You can't skimp on water in the desert, even for a shorter hike.
Better to have too much than too little.
Always.
Yeah.
And you need fuel, too. So, snacks.
Simple stuff like trail mix, maybe an energy bar, a banana, things that are easy to eat and give you a boost.
Keeps the energy levels up.
Then there's sun protection, non-negotiable.
Absolutely. Sunglasses, definitely a hat, maybe a wide-brimmed one if you have it.
Sunscreen, lip balm with SPF 2, that sun is intense.
You really feel it out there. And a basic first aid kit, just in case.
Band-aids, antiseptic wipes, maybe some pain relievers, simple stuff.
Good thinking. And navigation these days usually means your phone, right? So an offline map.
Yeah, download it beforehand. And maybe a portable charger, just to be safe.
Always a good backup. They even mentioned bringing a light jacket.
Which sounds weird for Vegas, maybe, but temperatures can change, especially if you start early or there's wind.
It's smart preparation, covers the bases. It really shows how thinking ahead makes a difference for a beginner.
Okay, so they're geared up. They get to the trailhead, apparently easy to find.
Yeah, they said it was straightforward, which is, one less thing to worry about when you're starting out.
And it starts off kind of gentle. Nice slope to ease you in.
Right. Helps manage those initial nerves, maybe.
But, then the real climb starts. The incline.
Yep. That's when you start to feel it. And this is where their big tip came in.
Pacing. Small, steady steps. Don't try and power up it like a pro on day one.
Exactly. It's not a race. And stopping is fine. Catch your breath. Have some water.
Totally normal. Encouraged even. Find your own rhythm.
And they also mentioned, very importantly, watching where you put your feet.
The loose rocks and gravel again.
Yeah, it's apparently pretty common on the trail. You need to be mindful of your footing.
But it's not all hard work, right? They mentioned the views on the way up.
Yeah, those little scenic points. Seeing the city start to open up below you.
That must be really motivating. Like little rewards to keep you going.
Definitely. Helps break up the climb.
Yeah.
And as they got higher, steeper bits, some rocky sections.
Which is where those good shoes earn their keep, I guess.
For sure. Traction and stability become even more important there.
And then, the summit, they made it.
And describe the views as breathtaking. That full 360 panorama.
The city, the mountains. Got to be an amazing feeling. That sense of accomplishment mixed with the view.
Absolutely. Makes all that effort feel completely worth it.
Okay, so summit achieved, but you got to get down, right? And the beginner hiker said that was trickier.
Yeah, they found the descent more challenging in some ways, which isn't uncommon, actually.
Why is that? Just the loose gravel again?
That's a big part of it, yeah. Requires even more focus on footing, maybe. Plus, it works different muscles. Can be harder on the knees.
Ah, right. So what do they suggest? Any tips for going down?
Taking smaller steps helps control your speed, and leaning back just a little bit can give you better balance on the gravel.
Makes sense. And they were thinking about maybe using trekking poles next time.
Yeah, which is a great observation. Poles can really help with stability, especially going downhill, and they take some load off your joints.
So learning from the experience, adapting for the future.
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
And this whole personal story, it really lines up with the other info we have about Lone Mountain Park, doesn't it?
It does. It shows that the mountain itself has these different trails, different levels of difficulty. It's not just one single hard climb.
So it caters to beginners, but also people with more experience.
Right. And if the main climb feels like too much to start, there's that perimeter trail.
The one that goes around the base, how long is that?
About 3.2 miles. Much gentler. Good for a walk, or you see joggers, even people on horseback there.
So multiple ways to enjoy the outdoors in that area.
Definitely. It shows how versatile the park is.
And all these options, the challenging hike, the easier trail, they offer real benefits for the community, don't they?
Yeah, our sources highlight that. It's obviously great for exercise, physical activity.
But also just, relaxing, de-stressing, a place to hang out, maybe meet people.
And connect with nature, which is huge when you live in a city like Vegas. A bit of an escape right on the edge of town. It really reinforces Lone Mountain's role as, this local touchstone. People feel connected to it.
It's more than just a geological feature. It's woven into the local identity.
And briefly, just to paint the full picture, Lone Mountain Park isn't only about hiking up the mountain itself.
Right. There's other stuff there, too.
Yeah, the park at the base has equestrian facilities, picnic spots, some you can reserve, some first come, first served.
Okay. What else? Sports courts.
Pickleball, basketball, tennis courts.
Yeah.
And playgrounds for kids. So it's a real multi-use community hub.
Good to know. It rounds out the picture of the whole area.
So pulling it all together then, for you listening, if you're a beginner thinking about Lone Mountain,
what are the main things to remember?
preparation is key. Get decent shoes. Pack enough water, really. Pack enough water and snacks. Sun protection.
Basically, be prepared for the conditions and on the trail itself.
Listen to your body. Go at your own pace. Don't feel rushed. Small steps help.
Watch your footing, especially on the way down.
Exactly. Be mindful, but also enjoy it. Take in those views.
Yeah, look forward to that feeling of getting to the top, that sense of accomplishment. It's earned.
And remember, trying something like this, it's a great way to connect with the outdoors near you and maybe surprise yourself with what you can do.
Okay, so here's something to chew on. Lone Mountain offers this really cool blend of accessible nature right next to urban life.
That connection point.
So think about where you live.
Yeah.
Are there similar spots, maybe not a mountain, but parks, trails, natural areas close by that offer that same mix?
That chance for some physical activity, but also just connecting with your local landscape.
What's your community's version of Lone Mountain? Something to explore, maybe?
Definitely worth thinking about.
Thanks for taking the deep dive with us today.